You can try 1,000 different things, and 1,000 different people have 1,000 different ways for you to do it. But none of them is guaranteed to work, and in the end, no matter what you're doing, it's possible that it's an intractable problem, and it will never work.
But they're not really needle-like anymore. They're becoming thicker little devices.
Oh, bullshit.
Bullshit. After.
Okay.
Okay.
I agree with your assessment. Yes, they are getting fatter.
Okay, not bullshit.
No, not yet.
All right.
Well, don't forget this is one hurdle, right?
Oh, it's one.
Like you grow good crystals and then see how many diffract, right? It's like 1 in 10.
Are they better?
They're on the road to being better.
They're on the road.
They
It's
certainly
not there
are.
yet.
Yeah.
It's on the road.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. What is this PhD degree? That's one of the last things that we have in our culture where there's an apprenticeship. The advisor is, you're an apprentice to the advisor as a graduate student, and that's very, it's very unstructured, and you depend very much on the advice the advisor gives you. I definitely think that's a hard thing to do when things aren't working. You're not learning a bunch of facts. What you're really learning is how to take a very wide range of problems and address them. You learn how to solve problems that you've never seen before, and you've got a huge toolkit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, hold on. We just gotta tune it. Have you ever tuned it? You've never tuned it?
No.
Oh,
Tune
God.
this?
With the students, the techniques they're using are problematic for them simply because they don't know them yet and they're not experienced in them. In a way, you can think of it as being like a young violinist who has difficulty with his technique, can't express his art appropriately, but the master who has absolutely no problem with technique can beautifully express his art because that's all that he has to concentrate on. And I think that as the students go along, they approach that level.
So Larry pushed me and I did an experiment, so I'm gonna go and look in 1,000 different drops right now.
Rob got crystals of this protein a year ago, and the crystals look beautiful, but they're too disordered to diffract X-rays. And so then we went back to the drawing board and re-engineered DNA molecules that encode different pieces of this protein so that it can form compact, hard crystals that diffract X-rays. There are a lot of things you can do, but just jiggering the pH a little bit is
pH
one thing.
precipitant, and then, but I'm asking you, should I try to screw around with the magnesium chloride or not? Just leave it. Leave it at 50, maybe.
I would change one thing at a time.
Yeah, okay, so I'll
You
do
know,
a pH versus,
Yeah, I would change one thing at a time, and just small changes in pH, half a unit on each
so,
side.
and should I use the same buffer, or can I switch buffers?
No, don't change
Yeah.
one thing at a time.
Right. It's not easy to do this day after day and fail day after day. It took me 2.5 years of doing experiments and having them not work before I got my first crystal. Do I feel intense competition? Yeah, I do. Larry keeps telling me to solve this structure. I keep telling him, well, we're gonna get scooped. He's like, don't worry about that. it's like taunting me. I'm throwing my best ideas at this problem and it just, nothing, man. Kill, this is the last plasmids I'm gonna make as a grad student.
Yeah, no,
How many times have I said
every
that?
time I heard that.
Yeah, dude. How you guys doing? Great. Bam. Welcome to the fun house. Oh, thumbs. Watch those thumbs. Oh my. Man. Oh. Getting a PhD is 2,000 days. And so much of it, and scientists across the world will say, you know, it's not always about the smarts, it's not always about the creativity, it's about sticking to it.
We reach the point in which it's a lot harder than you expected, and you want to let go, fall, stop, but you can't because there's so many reasons why you can't, and you have to sort of gather that extra little bit of energy, kind of get through the tough part.
I ended up graduating from the University of Illinois when I was 28, and I guess at that point I had dropped out 3 times. Once to become a busboy, and then once to join the Navy. I want to put my boot prints on the top of the world. That's gonna be kick-ass. If I ever have a baby, you know, my wife and I ever have kids, I'm sure that's gonna be kick-ass. I know when I get my PhD, that's gonna be kick-ass, man. I started dreaming about it in a bunk on a battleship in the middle of the Med. And so that was my dream throughout when I was in the Nav, was to come back and go to college, get a PhD, and do science. So I've had that dream for quite a while.
I've had parents who were very into their careers, and I had my own little rebellion. And I went to work in a laboratory. And I was learning to think about science the way that scientists think about it. There was no way that I could go back to high school. And at 16 years old, I went out to Caltech, where I pretty much stayed in the lab when I should have been doing classroom learning. And a lot of people stood up for me because they also believed that it was the, I don't know, I guess in a sense, the reverence for the science that was important, and not the tick marks on the pieces of paper.
There are lots of people who come here who probably could have done other things and made a lot more money. In fact, I'm sure of it. We talk about it frequently and complain to each other about how we could be making $200,000 or $300,000 in Wall Street. But I couldn't be happier, right? Like, I wake up, I do something I love. At the end of 4 or 5, 6 years here, I end up with a PhD from Columbia. Well, what could be better than that? We're going synchrotron on Saturday, Sunday.
This Saturday, this Sunday. That pony on the track?
Yeah, no, I got
You got big fatties?
I got some crystals that I wasn't expecting, but
Cool, good luck, man.
yeah, thanks.
Yeah. The race is on and I'm behind.